This is Morning Baraka. We're going to be talking nutrition
and fitness.
Exactly.
Right, so we have a low-carb smoothie, strawberry smoothie on the cards a bit later on.
Indeedy.
And really the effect, we're going to try to touch on the subject of how sugar affects sort of health and the ailments that we can obviously develop through our own eating habits.
Yes.
Obviously we have hereditary factors which we don't really have a part to play in, do we? That's,
no, but we do in some respects if we still have to regulate. You know, we make an attempt. If you inherited, for example, heart disease, but you try and modify. Best advice to modify your diet after seeking advice from your medical practitioner. You'd modify your diet to acclimatize.
So our smoothie, what have you got today?
So the smoothie entails some strawberries. I've got so much stuff up here. I'm going to actually clear the space so it's easy to see and more visual. So I have some strawberries here. We'll have a few strawberries that we can add in. I love strawberries. I don't know what kind of if you're a fruit person as such, but strawberries are lovely.
Cream and Wimbledon.
I was thinking of tennis. Yeah, I was thinking of summer and tennis when the price of strawberries they do inflate it just a little bit.
Yeah.
But,
well, I have a
very
funny story.
nice.
Last year I just had this craving for strawberries, so I went, and it was around Wimbledon time.
Okay.
So I went to, and then locally to me is Waitrose. So I went into there, and there were no strawberries on the shelves. And so I thought, you know what, this is ridiculous. So I drove to Asda. So for our international viewers, that's obviously Asda is like Walmart, and Waitrose is upper end. And Asda had shelves stacked of strawberries, and I thought, oh, is that, you know, an interesting social disparity there? That, you know, you could imagine people going to Waitrose, going to Wimbledon, and perhaps the ones that don't go to
little class issue going on there.
I don't know, it's quite interesting observation. So you've got dates as well.
Yep. So we've got the dates, but we'll cut the dates up so that we can. They're not too thick in their constituency. Once we get this blended.
Dates generally, are they quite a frequent? Are they more sort of the energy boosting
smoothies?
Yeah,
yeah. They kind of have concentrated sugar, but they're good. I mean, dates is, you know, subhanallah, they're beautiful.
So this is meant to be a low carb. So that will be okay with dates.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not putting too many. If we put the amount, if we put too many, then it would change the ingredients. We'll have a little bit of almond butter.
Okay, let's have a look.
Almond nut butter. So as you can see, voila.
Right, lovely. It's quite interesting, the different, ingredients, like almond and coconut.
Really we're really outdoing ourselves.
Yeah.
Being really creative. You have to try different stuff, right? That's where we grow, is when we're outside of our comfort zone and the regular stuff that we do all the time. So we try something different. Almond milk, almond nut butter. So why not have some almond milk?
Why not? Okay.
You notice this milk looks different to cow's milk. It's visibly,
it's got
noticeably different. Yeah.
It's a darker tinge of.
Yes.
Okay.
And seems kind of thickness about it that's different. And we also have some unsweetened yogurt.
You said like an American yogurt.
Yogurt, I know. Yes, it's Hollywood. Yeah, it's yogurt, isn't it, mate? It's rubbing off for me. Hollywood, you know, as they do.
Okay.
I do really like yogurt, though. I really do.
So in terms of the nutritional benefit of what the ingredients, how would you?
I'd look at the healthy fat of the yogurt, the protein of the yogurt, the sugars of the good sugars of the dates to provide some energy. I would look at the
strawberries. What do they?
Also as well, and the fruits in general have certain vitamins, are good for detoxing the body and the immune system. The antioxidants that we get in our fruits.
Berries are quite good for that, aren't they?
In general, yeah. Blueberries in particular, or I say that's what a lot of people speak about is the blueberries. But yeah, berries in general, they're good. They're good for that. And this is going to be I think it's going to be one of our best. This is going to be.
Does it need water or anything?
No, not necessarily. And we could put a gist of ice water, but I'll maybe add some later.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right.
This one looks like one of our.
interestingly, there's a hadith from Imam Ali, and he says, alayhi salam, most, if not all, ailments stem from what we put in our stomach.
Yep.
So it goes with the adage that it's we are what we eat, really.
Yeah. And often the remedy to what we suffer is to adjust our intake of the food.
It's moderation, isn't it? It's like just not eating.
So it's just, but I think we've outdone ourselves with this recipe.
You sound like you're breaking the thing, Brother Bilal.
I'm a little bit heavy-handed. Sorry about that. Sorry, dear viewers.
Okay. That looks really nice, doesn't it?
It does.
Because you kind of think the strawberry and the date colour would be a bit...
It does indeed. It does indeed. Don't you think that we're quite fortunate in the West, if I can use that term? I don't know if it's a bit dated, but I mean in terms of food. There's a big challenge because, well, it's a bit of both, isn't it? We have a lot of food in our supermarkets at our disposal, a wide variety of foods, but also if you check the statistics, weight gain is a bit of an issue. America, people getting cut, cranes having to take people out their homes is no joke, is it?
Goodness, yeah.
So
even the cost that we're having in the NHS due to patients that are coming in larger size.
Yeah.
So they're having to open fire doors because you can't access them, and it's quite a health and safety. The whole impact of overeating.
Yeah. So we have to be careful about managing our weight and stuff like that, because I know that there's a lot of sort of secondary illnesses that are related to obesity, so diabetes being one of them. I think you spoke about sugars.
Yeah.
We have to be careful because, sugars, we need the right amount of sugars to fuel our body.
Would you feel
to burn?
Would you feel if you had something that was going, you had too many sugars? What's the impact, you think? So you see children getting quite hyper.
Too many sugars. Sugars is nice.
Yeah.
It's compelling. The fructose is all compelling, but one is bad for you. It can be bad for you, especially early in the morning. It can, spike your blood sugar levels and overwork your pancreas. But also, sugars can lead to, excess sugars lead to excess weight. There's a correlation between your waist size and the possibility of getting heart disease and diabetes. So we can't say don't have sugars. You need sugars in your diet, but just to be careful. But hey, don't put you off your smoothie. No,
nothing will put me off my smoothie. But thank you so much. But I think it's the even with the sugar, you're saying that do you think in our communities we have an issue with sort of not eating as healthy as, say, I mean, we're not quite there, are we? In terms of we like our roasts, and roast is fine, but in terms of like the curries and the oil and
there's a lot of work to be done.
Sweets that we have, baklava, I'm sure is not very...
African Caribbean community, Southeast Asian community, diabetes is pretty up there, and it's related to diet. So we have some work to do. Hey, jump in.
3, 2, 1.
That's not bad.
Very nice.
That's not bad. I love the yogurt.
It tastes like you're having strawberry milkshake, and then you're having there's a bit of that nut, the almond butter you put in. Yeah.
And the almond doesn't dominate. It doesn't dominate. It's just in the background. It's just in the background.
It's an aftertaste, oddly. It's like having a Snickers bar after a strawberry milkshake.
You can actually use cashew butter, much more creamier, and it's a slightly different taste, a more refined taste. I'm sorry about that. I like
Go for it. That's quite a nice one. At least it didn't have spinach in today. Can't say I'm of that. I think the spinach is an acquired taste.
Definitely.
My sweet
definitely.
Tooth.
Spinach is lovely, I think, in cooked food, as a salad, chopped up, stewed with beef, whatever. Oh, sorry, in a beef casserole, but in a smoothie, it's a little bit more challenging. It's probably just as good for you, or a little bit more challenging. But this is beautiful. But I was thinking about exercise. What do you think? Do you think we exercise in the Muslim community enough? Do you think that we made it popular, a part of the lifestyle?
So what about when we have, say, for instance, if we're not eating healthy, what's the impact on us physically and on a spiritual level? So physically, you've mentioned there's diseases that we could have, we could develop, depending on the ratio of the stomach and the rest of the body, you could develop certain diseases, heart disease, diabetes, risk increase. What about the spiritual element? Like, if you're sort of eating this quite heavy, weighty food, overeating.
It doesn't sound like a good recipe, does it? Because when you look at those scholars or just individuals who dedicate themselves to the spiritual path, they tend to eat less meat. They tend to fast a lot. They're very particular about what, not just because it's halal, they eat anything. They're very particular about their food as well. So I always thought there's some sort of link between spirituality, you know, being a bit of an ascetic, you know, be very careful about your food. And the sunnahs of the various sunnahs of the Anbiya tend to be, you know, we don't know them to be gluttonous people or excessive people.
But I wonder, because if the hadith about Imam Ali is saying that all the ailments stem from what we put in our stomach, and you think ailments always can be spiritual and physical, you know, spiritual diseases as well as
That's
physical.
a good point.
And spiritual diseases can be the delay in praying, the sluggishness towards your wajib acts towards Allah. And if you're struggling with the wajib, you will not do the mustahab, and you won't elevate as your soul, and you know your body.
You mean like, so the wrong type of food makes you psychologically weighty?
Yeah, I mean, I joke a lot about sort of fat food, and you know, I have a sweet tooth, but and I will
Who
have
doesn't?
it and I have it in moderation. But
yeah,
there's always a limit, isn't there? Not to excessively eat, and you know, overindulge in sort of your desires to keep, you know, having big burger meals. I mean, if you eat too much, overeating, I think one of the ailments that is hard-heartedness. You know, and it's quite unfortunate when you see that the effect of not eating sort of food that, say, for instance, is halal. It's you know, certain things that the Ahlul Bayt have taught us.
Yes.
I mean, we have which we are blessed with, that we have the guidance from them.
Alhamdulillah.
Don't overeat, and you know, the kind of, I mean, behind you, there's just such a beautiful array of colours, and you think
of healthy
sweet
foods. Healthy sugars.
So yeah, we are really blessed. But how do you think in terms of mental health? I mean, you do a bit of work in mental health as well. How does that impact?
Yeah, it's a very big area. I think there's a big connection between food and mood, but also there are people who struggle with conditions like bulimia. You know, they have anorexia, and they got manorexia and stuff like this. So, so you know, anorexia is people who, but often women who feel like they're overweight, and their body perception of themselves, almost like a body dysmorphia, like their perception of what they weigh or what they, you know, is different to the reality. And sometimes it's because people have gone through various stresses, and it's kind of linked to anxiety. So they can be quite punitive and regimental with food, because it's a way of like, I've lost control of other aspects of my life, but food is one thing I can control. So they tend to eat very little, and to dangerous levels. You know, people lose like underweight.
Okay.
You know, so there's that aspect as well. But manorexia is for men who feel like, you know, they're oftentimes not
do they need to have
muscular
another
enough.
term for men and women, like manorexia?
No, manorexia is to do with muscularity. So guys that will be meticulous about going to the gym, but to the point of obsession.
Right.
They obsess about food size and, you know, like just portions and everything is, but to the excess. Not careful because they're working out and they're trying to stay healthy, but excessive and never good enough, and, you know, seeing fat on their body that doesn't actually exist, you know.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's quite, you know, to have any sort of obsession or sort of not to feel like you're good enough is quite, it's quite daunting, isn't it, for people that they do suffer like that. But so obviously overeating is a no-no. Is a no-no, and undereating too.
Anorexia. So it can become, undereating can be just a little bit obsessive, or it can become clinical, right?
Yeah. So it's your relationship with the food, isn't it? And
your relationship with yourself.
Yeah. So how would it be in terms of people that suffer from sort of their relationship with food? I mean, do you know of anybody that can, apart from obviously health professionals and, you know, rehabilitating themselves, and but in terms of like, sort of, do you think how can they improve their relationship with food on a sort of just a normal, like, you know, a usual level, like how, instead of going to a health professional, not instead, but as well as, what kind of foods would be good for people to go into, sort of more nutritional?
I think with those type of disorders, it's really best to speak to a medical professional, and like a talking therapist, psychologist, and deal with it on a mental level, because you just be swimming upstream with them. They're not in that place to hear the information.
Oh, it's just
unfortunately,
really tragic,
unfortunately, yeah. So if anybody out there, they feel that somebody's got a problem, it's good, like a family member or something they care about, encourage them or try and steer them into going and seeing their GP as a first protocol to get further help, get referred onto the right type of agency.
Yeah,
you know?
there was a general practitioner for GPs of people abroad, speak to health professionals really.
Yeah.
Well, that's all we've got time for, and
so quick.
Yeah, it was a delicious smoothie.
Mm-hmm.
So inshallah, next up we have the politics debate show.